In the words of J. Robert Oppenheimer, in some sort of crude sense which no vulgarity, no humor, no overstatement can quite extinguish, the physicists have known sin. Born in the bustling city of New York in 1904, Oppenheimer was a curious child, fascinated by minerals. This early fascination was a stepping stone to his study of chemistry at Harvard. A brilliant mind destined for greatness, his path was yet unclear. A young man with a bright future, Oppenheimer had no idea of the path that lay before him. Oppenheimer's thirst for knowledge was insatiable, leading him from the halls of Harvard to the classrooms of Cambridge. As he crossed the Atlantic, he was eager to quench his scientific curiosity, but his journey was not without struggle. Cambridge's hands-on approach to physics was a far cry from the theoretical discussions he had thrived on at Harvard. The lab work was challenging, and Oppenheimer found himself grappling with tasks that didn't align with his natural inclinations. With resilience, he shifted his focus to theoretical physics, an area where his analytical mind could flourish. This pivot served him well, and soon he found himself at the University of Göttingen, a hub for theoretical physicists. Here, his passion and intellect converged, leading him to earn his PhD and solidify his place among the great minds of his era. This was a pivotal period in his life, a stepping stone to the groundbreaking work he would later undertake. His journey through academia was just the beginning. The real work was yet to come. From student to teacher, Oppenheimer began to make his mark in the world of physics. After his studies in Europe, he returned to the United States, where he took up a professorship at the University of California, Berkeley. Here, he was not just a professor, but a mentor, a guide to the next generation of physicists. In Berkeley's halls, Oppenheimer's influence began to shine. His intellect and charm drew the best minds of the time to his lectures, creating a hub of innovation and discovery. Quantum mechanics, a field still in its infancy, became his playground. His contributions in this area were significant, pushing the boundaries of our understanding of the universe. Yet while his theories were making waves in the academic world, Oppenheimer was not one to rest on his laurels. He was always seeking, always questioning, and as the 30s drew to a close, he found himself at a crossroads. Oppenheimer was at the top of his game, but a new challenge was on the horizon. In the midst of World War II, Oppenheimer found himself at the helm of a project that would change the world forever. A project shrouded in secrecy and nestled in the remote expanses of New Mexico. It was the Manhattan Project. As the director of the Los Alamos laboratory, Oppenheimer was tasked with the unimaginable, to harness the destructive power of the atom. Oppenheimer and his team of brilliant minds from across the globe were racing against time. The goal was clear: create a weapon of unprecedented power to end a war of unprecedented scale. The stakes were high, and the pressure immense. Yet, under Oppenheimer's leadership, the team made rapid strides in developing the atomic bomb. The fruits of their labor were realized on a fateful July morning in 1945, when the world's first atomic bomb, Trinity, lit up the New Mexico desert. The explosion was equivalent to the detonation of over 20,000 tons of TNT. It was a chilling testament to human ingenuity and a stark reminder of its potential for destruction. Yet the Manhattan Project was not just about scientific breakthroughs, it was a crucible of ethical dilemmas. Oppenheimer, along with many of his colleagues, grappled with the moral implications of their work. The creation of a weapon of mass destruction weighed heavily on their conscience. Oppenheimer himself was known to have quoted from the Bhagavad Gita saying, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds," following the successful test of the atomic bomb. The father of the atomic bomb, Oppenheimer's creation had brought an end to the war, but at a great cost. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki claimed hundreds of thousands of lives and ushered in the nuclear age, an era marked by fear and uncertainty. A tale of triumph and tragedy, the Manhattan Project remains a pivotal chapter in Oppenheimer's life and in the annals of human history. In the wake of the war, Oppenheimer's life took a dramatic turn. Once the guns had fallen silent and the mushroom clouds had dissipated, the man who had played a pivotal role in the creation of the atomic bomb, found himself in a whirlpool of controversy and speculation. Oppenheimer, who had always been politically active, found himself under scrutiny for his affiliations. His connections to the Communist Party, though primarily through family and friends, raised eyebrows within the government. In the paranoid landscape of post-war America, these connections were enough to cast a shadow over his reputation. In the early 50s, this suspicion reached a crescendo. Amid accusations of espionage and under the cloud of the Red Scare, Oppenheimer's security clearance was revoked. The man who had once been at the heart of America's nuclear program was now seen as a potential risk, a change that marked a distinct shift in his career and personal life. But Oppenheimer was not one to be easily deterred. Even as the controversies swirled around him, he remained committed to the pursuit of knowledge. In his later life, he served as the director of the Institute for Advanced Study, a role that allowed him to continue shaping the scientific landscape even away from the political spotlight. The controversies surrounding Oppenheimer are as complex and multifaceted as the man himself. They serve as a reminder of the delicate balance between science and politics and the potential pitfalls of operating at their intersection. Yet through all the controversy and scrutiny, Oppenheimer's legacy as a scientist and a thinker remains undimmed. His work on the Manhattan Project, while controversial, revolutionized our understanding of the atom and cemented his place in the annals of scientific history. Despite the controversies, Oppenheimer's contributions to science and his influence on the world stage cannot be overlooked. He was a man who truly knew the weight of his actions, living out his years in contemplation of the world he had helped shape. Oppenheimer once said, "The world is a dynamic mess of jiggling things if you look at it right." From his early days at Harvard to his groundbreaking work as a theoretical physicist, Oppenheimer's life was as dynamic as the world he described. Integral to the Manhattan Project, his contributions to science were monumental. Yet, his legacy is complex, entangled in controversy and debate. A genius, a scientist, a teacher, and a philosopher, J. Robert Oppenheimer, will forever be remembered in the annals of history.